Yeah, let me introduce y'all to this YouTube family, showing us the way to get out of debt gradually. My man Josh hold it down in the household, Christine dominating debt with a chokehold. And the kids, they are Grace and Zoe, baby Tennessee, new addition to their story. Debt Kickin Sunday, daily vlogging, Dave Ramsey plan gonna have us live large, and every day we'll see part of their lifestyle, how they budget and they keep things wrote down. See them work through the envelope system, no credit cards, only cash going with them. You will see how their family strives to survive with the budget plan, help us understand, and daily vlogs show us how to have fun. When you hear this song, let me hear you say, debt is done. Debt is done, debt is done, debt is done. Let me hear you say it louder.
I'm afraid to talk.
You should hear the things I'm saying to him when the camera's off.
Wow.
Okay, this got really awkward for Debt Kickin Sunday.
Awkward.
Welcome back, you guys. We have a ton of your questions to answer because we have been having two weekend videos. So let's get to it so we can get as many in as we can, okay? I'm surprised that your advice was to pay off the smallest debt first. We always recommend when you're looking at all your debts to pay the smallest one off first.
Debt snowball.
Why wouldn't you check out the interest rates first and put money towards that? While you're putting your money towards your Sears bill, 10%, your Home Depot is tripling because their interest rate is much higher. Plus, isn't the first thing that viewer should do is call her credit card company and see if she can get better rates? Why would you call a credit card company and see if you can get better rates when you're trying to pay them off and get out of debt?
See,
I mean, this is just a response to, I realize this is not an actual question, this is a response, but we thought we'd bring it up so we can explain why we do the things and advise the process of how we would pay off debts and how we did. Yeah.
You read that?
Okay, so, no, don't call your credit card company and see if you can get a better rate. Get out of debt and cut them up, ultimately. And second, you want to not have 20 different credit card bills, for example. You want to have like 2 that you're working with. So the faster you pay off the little ones, you're knocking out these creditors that you're never, ever, ever going to have to deal with again. Okay?
It's the snowball effect. That's the whole reason. You start with the smallest, you work to the largest, you kind of disregard the interest rates, because if your high interest rate one is a higher payment or a higher value, which they typically are, it's not your $50 Sears ones that are 23% interest and stuff like that. So you're gonna be always focusing on that one, and you're never gonna be paying on the little ones. But if you start at the little one, and you start chipping away and banging, and every month you're paying off 1 or 2 of those little ones, look at this big snowball that's starting to take effect, and then you have a lot more money to start putting towards those other ones. So it's going to happen a lot quicker.
Right. And your Home Depot, if you do it, if you're gazelle intense and you do it quickly, it will not triple because you're going to knock it out before it actually gets to the tripling phase. Okay, awesome question. Or awesome just conversation in general. I have 2 credit cards. Next one. I use them and go directly home and transfer the money to the card. I have never ever paid a cent of interest. I have earned over $800 in air flights over the past 3 years and dollars back from Costco. I do not have bank fees due to it being a staff account. I have a healthy savings account. Is this a bad way to manage my money? Thank you for answering my question. I have a mortgage and no other debt.
My answer, and it's only my answer, take it as you will, is yeah, it's a bad way to manage it.
That's not how we would manage our money.
My question to you is, if you go right home and you transfer the money, you have the cash, is what it sounds like. If it was me, I would use my cash to go buy whatever I need and not put it on a card.
Because like the Bible says, then you're a slave to the lender. You are. You're a slave to the credit card company or to Costco if you have a credit card through them. And you have paid for it, especially with as much as you're paying in over 3 years of doing it. You just don't see how you're paying for it because these companies are so good. They spend millions of dollars, billions in advertising dollars. on how to trick you and believe that you're winning with it, with their product, and you're not. And they do get you. Even though you are responsible, it sounds like, cash is just easier. Why wouldn't you deal with cash? Yeah.
Exactly. I would pay cash, and if you need air flights, start a sinking fund and save for your own flights.
Because then
no one else is using your money than you are.
Think of the trips that cost money that you have to use just because you have free flights. Like, that trip is still costing you money versus not taking it at all. I mean, there's just, you got to really think about it. It's not just how it's perceived. Okay. Are there any other channels to which you subscribe that are similar to yours? I love your channel, but there's so few that I've found that focus on saving, budgeting, and budgeting for families. This is why we started our channel.
Yep.
Actually, God led us to YouTube. And I know that sounds absurd and crazy, and that's how He works. That's okay. It can sound crazy. But we got on YouTube, and I was looking for a source of inspiration. We were going through it, and there wasn't any. So, YouTube just, you should do videos, we should do videos, kept going through our head, that little voice. And the only other channel that we watch that is so budget-minded is Joel and Anna over at LiveLikeNoOneElse.
Great people.
So they're awesome. They're
Funny.
some of our bestest friends, and they're family-oriented, and they have fantastic ideas, and they're going through the same thing that we all are. And so I'll leave the link to their video down below, their channel. Go check them out. They put out good stuff. And tell them that that is down said hello, because we love those guys. And then that's it for really. DoItOnaDime. Yes, Catherine is awesome too. I put DoItOnaDime down below because I love her channel. Let's see. Hi guys, I'm 29 and a student. I work as many hours as I can and just make enough to cover my rent, bills, gas, and groceries. Basically living paycheck to paycheck. I don't have funds to tackle my debt. I went back to school to finish my degree in hopes of getting a better paying job, and I will be done this May. I had to take out student loans to do this. I now have about $25,000 of student loan debt, and I'm regretting it big time. Although there was no other avenue for me to further my education. I would like to continue with my graduate degree, but that would involve more loans, at least for the first semester while I get a better job. Should I put a graduate degree on hold and pay cash for it? I would love to do that, but I don't want to be 40 and still getting my degree. I'd almost rather struggle along for the next 2 years and then be done with it. What do you think? Love you guys and what you do. Caitlin. Okay, so my first thing on student loans. Think ahead on how much you would make with a graduate degree. Okay. And then it's kind of like return on investment for those business-minded people. If what it costs you to go to graduate school is going to make you a huge, a large amount of more money, I would consider it. But if it's not, then don't keep going to school. That's a problem a lot of people
So
have.
basically, let me break it down. Just throw numbers. You spend $25,000 in education, and you get a $125,000 a year job. That's a good investment.
Right, because you can pay it off right
But
away.
you don't want to spend $25,000 in college to get a $30,000 income per year job, because that's not going to be a good return on
You
investment.
will not pay it off. It will take forever.
Yeah.
To pay off. So, I mean, it just depends what career you're going for. I would advocate to pay cash for your graduate degree. Do what you can.
Pay as much of it as you can as you go.
Right.
Work. It's hard, but work.
And it sounds like you will. And, you know, yeah. Try not to do loans. You know that.
They're
do
like
whatever
the worst.
you can to not have to do loans.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's our input, our little 2 cents on that. I need advice. Next one. We are on the road to pay off all of our debt. We are getting our tax returns soon. My husband and I don't know what to do with it exactly. We could either pay off 2 credit cards or buy a minivan. We are a 1-car family, and I find myself needing a vehicle when he is at work. We make do with what we have, but it gets to be a bit much sometimes. Or we could either buy the minivan we found and still pay some on the credit cards, or no minivan and pay the credit cards off. Your advice would be appreciated. Thanks. Okay.
How bad do you need a minivan?
How did we do this?
I mean, I would think if you're using the minivan every day and you needed it, They're buying a minivan, right? That was the question.
That's what their tax return.
Yeah.
2 credit cards are being paid off, or they're paying for a minivan.
If it's something you need every day, I would say get the minivan. But it also sounds like you
pay cash
you,
for it.
You could get by right now without it if you really had to.
Mm-hmm.
So it all depends on how bad you need it.
You would never regret paying off those 2 credit cards.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. Does it have to be a minivan? Can it be something else? I don't know how many kiddos you have. And minivans are definitely nice. But what we did is we paid cash for good, reliable, used vehicles that would last a long time.
Yeah.
And we paid a little bit more than most people do, just for that. Peace of mind.
But we found some nuggets or gems
Diamonds
out there in the rough. We found
we did
2 cars that had extremely low miles on them. So for us, it was we still pay cash for both of them, but it was worth pay a little bit more money because they had so many miles, less, whatever.
Yeah.
Miles.
And if you're paying cash, vehicles are important. Vehicles that will stay out of the shop it depends. Go as cheap as you can, I guess, on the minivan so you can put as much as you can on the credit cards. That is exactly what I would do. How do you get started? First, I have to give a shout out to Blue Ridge Prepper 1. Your advice, my friend.
You're the man.
You are
You're a woman. Whatever.
so awesome.
You are.
Okay, if you guys are asking questions, and if this fantastic human being is responding, this guy, Blue Ridge Pepper 1, I'm not bringing up your questions just because he answered already exactly what we would say.
Exactly. I mean, it's like the guy lives with us, or person lives with us.
Thank you for helping us out with our questions and help get people covered. Next one. How do you get started with the envelopes? I've wanted to start, but I don't have a check that I can distribute among envelopes because right now every other check is rent and then car payment and utilities. How would I be able to pay my full rent and at the same time distribute half of the next rent and the other bills in an envelope while I transition over? What are your other bills?
Sounds like you have an income issue. Sounds like all your money's going out and you don't have any money to save to make envelopes is what I'm getting at, is what I'm assuming.
And the car payment. You know we hate car payments. You know we're going to say get rid of your car payment because it's sucking you down. Yeah. It's pulling you down and stopping you from gaining traction and being able to get ahead in this.
But basically you're right. The way you fill your envelopes is for the month forward. Mm-hmm. So you have to get in that position of either getting rid of the car to get the money to go forward, picking up some overtime, picking up a pizza delivery job, whatever you need to do to get that money to plan for the month forward instead of the month behind.
Right. And maybe you have, people on here have been so crazy that they've had no spend months.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a no spend month for a month while you sock as much money as you can for your next month's envelopes. Just saying. Then you don't spend money on anything for an entire month that you don't have to. It's like beans and rice and top ramen so that you can get your envelope money for the next month. Do what you have to do. I feel like a lost soul. This comment obviously struck us. It struck a lot of you guys. You replied to this individual. I feel like a lost soul. My marriage isn't great and I can't find a church I love and my debt is out the roof. My income isn't much and my husband doesn't even tell me how much he makes. He is self-employed and he always says I don't have any money. I end up paying the bills with my money. Right now we are living with my oldest daughter from my first marriage and it is time to move out. Too many people under one roof. We have 2 children under 18 plus him and I. I don't even know if my husband can contribute to the rent when we move. My situation is pretty sad and I feel hopeless. Whenever a bill is due or I need some groceries, he tells me he doesn't have any money. So basically he isn't working in my eyes. What should I do?
If he doesn't have if he has a job but he doesn't have any money and he's not paying anything, he's got money. If you were,
I wish I could hug you and pray with you right now because...
Go find a church.
And it doesn't matter if you, it's not finding a church that you love, it's connecting with God. And we have church shopped before, and we're not entitled to go to a church that makes us feel comfortable we are entitled to go to church to worship God and build a relationship with Him. So it doesn't matter. Pick a church. Go to a church. Form relationships with women that you can trust. Have them pray with you. Have partners in this that you can text and say, I'm having a really hard time. Get a pastor that will counsel you and counsel you both. Because without those things, that's absolutely scary where this is going. And I'm sure you're well aware of how bad the situation is.
I mean, if you guys want to make this work, maybe some kind of counseling.
That's what I just said, a pastor that you can trust to counsel. A Christian counselor.
I'm sorry. I just apologize. I don't know, but I don't... If he's not contributing to anything, I don't know what to say, really. Sounds like you might be on your own. Yeah.
She needs help. And a lot of you guys have had really good comments in response. And I appreciate you reaching out to us, because it takes a lot to admit that you have these things going on. And you're not the only one, sister. So by going public with this, you're actually benefiting a lot of people. But God, I think, is the only person that can pull you through. Absolutely. And we'll be praying for you, okay? So anyway, surround yourself with positive people. That is it, you guys, for this video. We're going to turn around and shoot another video. So we will see you next time. Leave your comments and questions down below. It's hard to follow that. I just don't know. You know, it's hard to follow that question. Okay.
Peace out, peoples.